Rachel Holden, the Nesson Digital Studios, alongside Dominick Reyes and Chris Weidman. Guys, thanks so much for being here today.
Thanks for having us.
All right, so you've been to Boston before, but we have a first-timer on our hands.
I've been here.
You've been here?
Multiple times.
Oh my God. I thought you said first-timer, but what do you think about Boston?
Boston's beautiful. I like the city a lot.
Your thoughts?
Yeah, I'm from New York, so it's weird. You forget that Boston's so close because it's never a thing to come to Boston as a New Yorker. But I've been here a few times now, and every time I come, I'm like, man, it really is a beautiful, beautiful city. A lot of history, and all the people are super cool. And I feel like it's kind of like New York and Long Island. Like people like to bust balls here. Same thing with New York. So I feel like we have that in common.
That's nice of you to say that because New Yorkers are just trained not to like Boston. Well, UFC Fight Night Boston takes place October 18th. I know people here are very excited about that. First off, what are your thoughts on competing in such a storied venue like TD Garden?
Oh, it's huge. Competing in the Garden it's next to, for me, Staples, competing in iconic arenas. And with these rabid fans, man, I mean, I'm excited to perform in front of these fans. It's a fight, it's a sports town. So I'm excited to put it on for these guys. I'm
not going to lie, they get a little wild. Chris, what are your thoughts?
I'm excited to do it. At the end of the day, when you finish with your career, you want to be able to have moments like that. You have Madison Square Garden, you got the TD Garden, Staples Center. I mean, there's a few venues that it's like, man, you want to have the opportunity to fight at, and so we're obviously blessed to have the opportunity to fight on that and get the main event, and it's awesome.
Dominick, you're a California guy. You're a Lakers fan. Is it safe to say you grew up appreciating the Celtics-Lakers rivalry?
Yeah, absolutely. That rivalry has been at the forefront of the Lakers-Celtics. Man, it's been huge. And being able to come to the Garden, it's going to be my first time in the Garden. I've actually kind of avoided the Garden because of the rivalry, but things have changed, and I'm excited to get in there.
And Chris, you're a New Yorker, like you said, but Boston fans, you're going to like this. So he recently defended Tom Brady on Twitter. Do you have an appreciation for the GOAT and the Patriots, even though you're from New York?
Yeah, it's hard to give Patriots too much credit, but Tom Brady, it's hard to hate on him. I mean, what he's been able to accomplish in his career, and he's stayed super. He's been a great role model for kids and never really got himself in any trouble. I guess actually maybe a little bit the deflating thing of the balls. We'll stop bringing that up.
We don't know about that. Yeah, we'll move on.
But he recently I guess he jumped off did some cliff jumping with his daughter, and they jumped into the water, and I guess she landed. It looked like as if she landed hard, and people started coming at him like he wasn't being a good father. And I'm like, are you joking? It wasn't a big deal at all. So I had his back.
Defending Tom Brady. Yeah. Okay, don't let that sway you, but I'm just pointing that out. Now, Dominick, you were recently bungee jumping. You posted that video on social media, and you said it was a terrifying experience. And for someone like me, it's kind of funny to think of someone like you guys being terrified, but how was that?
So I only fear is heights. It's literally my only fear. And I had this recurring dream where I'm standing on this small platform, and I'm overlooking like a ravine, and I slipped off the platform and I fall. Well, when I stepped on the platform to bungee jump, it was the exact same kind of platform that I had in my dreams, and my legs got a little shaky, but I just went for it, and I think I got over that fear just a little bit.
That's awesome.
You're a lot braver than the rest of us. Any fears on your side?
Spiders. I don't like spiders.
No, thank you.
Yeah, you took one out.
I did. I didn't know. Yeah, I faced my fear too.
Okay, so it's going to be your first time fighting each other.
Yeah.
Maybe a little awkward because you're sitting at this table together here today. I mean, what's that like, knowing that in 2 short months you're going to be trying to knock each other out?
It is kind of a crazy thing, because at the end of the day, it's there's respect, and anybody who gets into MMA, I have a lot of respect for it because it's, I think, the toughest sport in the world. But at the end of the day, one guy's going to get their hand raised, and obviously I want it to be me. And so whatever it takes to get it done, I'm going to do.
What's it like sitting across from this guy?
Yeah, I mean, it's just like any other sport, really. I've had friends that I competed against, like great friends, football or whatever. And when you step in the arena, you step in the field, there's no more friends. I mean, you're there, you want to win, he wants to win, and the whole goal is to win. And you got to do whatever it takes to win that match or fight or whatever you got to do. In this case, it's a fight, and there's a little more on the line in terms of your health, but it's the nature of the beast.
I'm glad you guys have this nice approach towards each other, because I was a little worried I was going to have to referee something, and the world was not ready for that. Chris, you're making your light heavyweight debut.
Yeah.
What has that process been like of training and getting ready?
I'm super excited just not to cut weight anymore. I feel like the weight cut was getting a little tough for me. The last couple of pounds were definitely very strenuous, and I don't know if I was recovering all the way like I planned on doing. And not having that stress of knowing I gotta get down a certain amount of weight every single week leading up to the fight just is a nice relief. And yeah, I've had a lot of injuries, and I feel like because of cutting so much weight, I feel like that was a big part of it. So now being able to just be at my natural weight and focus on my techniques and my strategy, it just feels way better. I'm way more comfortable.
So the injuries, is that the main reason that you moved up a weight class?
Main reason, when I lost my last one at 85, and I already won the belt, I have 4 championships at that weight, and it's like, you know what, let me change this up. And I always wanted to win the belt at 205, so I just felt like it was a good opportunity to go up. My last weight cut was tough, and so it just kind of made sense for me. Yeah.
Dominick, this is a first for you too. This is your first time headlining a UFC event. How does it feel to be front and center?
It's really cool. It's kind of the natural progression of things. You do well, and you get opportunities like this. So it's been, so far, it's pretty cool. I mean, I'm here. I'm enjoying it. I'm really taking it all in. I'm trying to really enjoy the process, because it comes and goes. At the end of the day, when you look back on things, you remember small things like sitting in the studio or visiting a cool place that you got to see because you're headlining or whatever you're doing.
And how has the training process been different for you, knowing that you're preparing for 5 rounds instead of 3 rounds?
It's just amplified in the cardio. More rounds, obviously. When you're training, you got to do more rounds. It's like, oh, I did 3, like cool. That's nothing. Like now, 3 rounds is like a walk in the park. So 5 rounds is a whole nother beast in itself, and I'm excited about the challenge.
Chris, Dominick is undefeated as a light heavyweight. What are your thoughts on him as a fighter?
He's a talented kid, big, strong, athletic. He gives 100% when he's in there. He's definitely very competitive. He hits hard. It seems like if he was to get taken down, he gets back to his feet pretty quick. And so it is not. I don't expect an easy fight at all. I expect a grinding fight. Yeah.
We're both thinking the same thing.
Yeah, good, yeah.
We're both expecting a grinding fight. Chris is, as far as my opponents in the past, I wouldn't say you're the hardest hitter I've faced, but you put everything together better than anybody. I think I'm going to fight up to this point. You're a complete mixed martial artist, and that's what I'm preparing for.
Yeah, he's moving to a new weight class, but he's a veteran of the sport. I mean, what's it going to take him out in the octagon?
Just got to be a little better everywhere, really. It's about it's a marathon in there. It's not about 1 round. It's about the whole fight. So if it happens in 1 round, I mean, that's the way God intended. But if not, I'm ready to grind.
Do you view this fight as the path to the title fight, given that Jon Jones has fought each of the 3 guys ahead of you in the rankings?
I think if I take care of business the way I know I can, then everything else will take care of itself.
Okay, well, Chris, I can tell you that the Boston fans, they're very excited for this fight.
Yeah,
if you had to tell them one thing that they can expect to see at UFC Fight Night Boston on October 18th, what would it be?
I will put everything on the line. I'll walk forward and utilize every aspect of mixed martial arts to get the job done. I never had a boring fight in my career, and so I'll put it on the line every damn time, and it's going to be an awesome fight.
Dominick?
Yeah, I mean, I'm coming out with a lot of power, a lot of excitement, supreme athleticism. It's gonna be a fun fight, and I'm very excited about it. So, see what happens.
All right. Thank you both for being here. We really appreciate having you in the studio and in Boston, and we're overjoyed to see you on October 18th.